Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Horror Room. So, this week, as promised, I guess, we're going to be talking about some of the worst horror movies in these various franchises. Now, there's a few that I don't physically own because, yes, they're that bad. Now, some of these I technically got for free, some of them I actually did buy. I'm not going to tell you which ones I actually spent money on, so I'll leave that up to you. But let's start with one that I don't physically own. Let's keep this ball rolling because we started off the last review with Texas Chainsaw 2 because it was so great. I really didn't like the new Netflix Texas Chainsaw. Or Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I think that's what it was called. They do this stupid shit where they name the movie the same thing over and over. Halloween has been made like 3 times. So you have to say, which one are you talking about? The Rob Zombie, the 78, or the 2018? This is an example of that because there's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original Toby Hooper one. There's Texas Chainsaw, which is like the 3D pseudo sequel to the original. And then there's this Texas Chainsaw Massacre without the at the beginning that came out on Netflix, and that is also a soft sequel reboot to the original. Now, my main quarrel with this movie is that they did this stupid thing where they're like, "Oh, we got to copy Halloween and bring back uh, Sally from the original Texas Chainsaw." I came to find out I thought it was the original actress. It's not. I guess she passed away long time ago, or well, longer than we thought. Um, so yeah, this is a different actress. They make this big old hoopla like she's been. I've been thinking about him. I'm looking for him. I think she even calls him Leatherface. Like, really? Like, is that just a nickname she gave him? Is that what the papers are calling him? Does he have a fucking name tag? I don't know. But they make this big deal about bringing her back like she's going to be the next Laurie Strode. She's such a badass. She's got a shotgun. And then she gets fucking killed like almost instantly. It's like, wow. Not to mention, all these kids running around this town. They're buying it up. Gonna turn it into their little paradise. None of them are likable. Like, I'm not saying that, people with different ideals or different beliefs or these new age things that they were trying to put in the movie are bad per se, but the way they went about it was just awful. It's it's telling when everybody's favorite scene is the bus where he's like, "You're canceled, bro," and they all get massacred. Like, that's pretty fucked up. But yeah, I think we can all agree that that was probably not the best one, and that's saying something because I was gonna say Leatherface. That was a really bad one too. Not this Leatherface. This one's okay. It just got butchered by the MPAA. Um, but the Leatherface one where they fake out that you're like, oh, this big, buff, bulky guy is gonna be Leatherface, and then it's like this wimpy dude gets his face like kind of shredded. Yeah, but I still think the Netflix one is just a little worse because it gets you invested enough that it's so much more of a letdown. Yeah. So, anyways, moving on. Leprechaun, the original. I know. People would probably be like, "What? You're not going to choose the space one? You're not going to choose Origins? Origins is really bad. I don't own that one. Um, and I really don't like that one a lot. But I'm telling you, the original, man, the one that started it all. This is the one I find myself going back to the least. Even I watch even part two more than this one. Um, Now, it's nothing to do with Jennifer Aniston. She's okay in this. It was like, it's a movie she's embarrassed about being in, and I can see why. Uh, when I think of this movie, I think the only thing I can remember was the scene that they put in the Boogeyman compilation, the pogo stick kill. That's the only one that's kind of fun. Other than that, he's just kind of running around. Like, he kinda is a little funny, but not really. Like, they try to make him more scary. I think it wasn't until the second one that they started leaning into the more like, okay, we can have fun with this. Um, but yeah, I mean, it was good enough that it warranted sequels, but it's one that I literally, anytime I watch it, I forget like half the movie, and I'm like, oh yeah, that happened. Oh yeah, this guy's in it. So yeah, it's kind of forgettable, and I think that's a shame. At least Origins, as bad as it was, I can remember like, oh gosh, that was bad because of this or that. Um, this next one, I used to have it. I got rid of it. I have it in this collection set, and that is Hellraiser 8 Hell World. Now, it didn't say Hellraiser 8, it just said Hellraiser Hell World. Um, now, let's talk about these movies. Ever since part 5, which is Inferno, which I do have, and I like it, um, it's like every movie since then, it was like a direct to video, and it was a movie that had nothing to do with Hellraiser. They just stuck Doug Bradley in it and the Hellraiser name and kind of like worked it in there. Uh, and two of the movies are pretty damn similar in which like the ending, spoiler alert, I won't say which ones, but two of the endings is like the main character has been dead the entire time, and this is like a punishment. This whole movie is like a punishment. It's you're already trapped. So it's basically the equivalent of like it was all a dream. Diddly-doo, diddly-doo. So yeah, bullshit. But Hellworld comes along and says, Hellworld says, "Here, hold my beer," and Hellworld's premise is this guy died, and he was obsessed with this dumb online game, and his friends decide to go to some party that's like the people who made the game, or they're hosting the event. Like, it's so bizarre. And the guy running the party is, I'm pretty sure it's Lance Henriksen. Yeah, yeah. And then like something Cenobites, something Doug Bradley uses a meat cleaver. Like, I don't even think you see the puzzlebacks once in that movie. I could be wrong, but it's so dumb and so bizarre. And then by the end of it, you find out that the guy that's hosting the party drugged everyone, and they've been in like these coffins the entire movie, and everything was like a hallucination, or like it was all a dream. Oh, it's so fucking bad, and like it's such an insult to the Hellraiser legacy. And like I said, there's some newer ones that not that good either, but I think Hellworld will always be the worst one, just because of seeing Pinhead use a cleaver like he's Jason Voorhees was just ridiculous. Hold on, I got dry mouth. Hold on. Oh man. Okay. So next we are moving on to Retro Puppet Master. No, we're not. No, we're not. Hold on. There's one that's worse. Where is it at? Hold on. Get out of my way, buddy. Well, I know it's over here. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. Oh, I grabbed the wrong DVD. Okay. This is a horror room first. I actually changed my mind mid-video. You saw it here first. I was going to say Retro Puppet Master, but I'm like, hey, this has Greg Sestero from The Room in it. And he's pretty cool. He's a good actor. And he's not bad in that movie. So I said, you know what? Let's shit on Puppet Master, The Littlest Reich. You know what? Actually, little bonus. Here, this is just a personal rant of mine I'm going to share with you guys. You know what I really don't like? I don't like when movies come out and they have the slipcover. And the slipcover is the damn same as the DVD. What is the point? It's such a waste of cardboard. There's nothing unique on here. It's the exact... You know what? Hold on. Oh my gosh, he did it. Yeah, I should rip this movie up too. Yeah. Wasn't even holding it right. So Puppet Master, The Littlest Reich. When this was announced, it was kind of thought to be like, oh, it's going to be a reboot. It's got Thomas Lennon from Reno 911 in it, which everyone was like, okay. And they kept teasing, images of the puppets, the new blade. There's like a frog. Okay. The new tunnler. And you're like, these designs are a little weird, but okay. I guess we'll give it a shot. So this is one that I went and bought when it came out, brand new. And man, when I tell you, this felt more like a trauma movie than a full moon movie. And I rarely use that as an insult, but when it comes to Puppet Master and Full Moon has a distinct feeling. You watch, Shrunken Heads, you watch Hideous, you watch Blood Dolls. They've got that charm to them. They're kind of low budget. They're not very sleazy. They're a little goofy, but they embrace it, and it's fun. Like Ginger Dead Man is probably the most raunchy, I guess, if you can say that. But I've never thought of Puppet Master that way. I've never thought like, oh man, Puppet Master is so offensive. Even when they had the Nazis in the movies, which they went wild with. Although you could argue that one of the Axis movies with Kamikaze. Jesus. I'm trying to defend you, Puppet Master. But this one, my God, there's like a puppet like rips a baby out of a lady. It's just so bad. And there's so many puppets in here. Like, I don't think I could name them all. I'm probably sure they have names. Like I'm looking at the back. There's like this flying one. There's Pinhead. There's Blade. There's Tunnler. There's Torch. There's a beaver in a top hat. What are we doing here? This movie was fucking trash. And I'm really disappointed that, Puppet Master said, yeah, you're good to go. Yeah, please don't. Just keep making your own shitty movies. Don't let other people ruin them. Next, we have Cult of Chucky. Now, I'll give credit where credit's due. Don Mancini, for the last ever, has just been saying, you know what, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want with Chucky. He's my creation. If I want to send him to fucking military school, he's going to military school. He wants to get married and have a kid, he's getting married and have a kid. He wants to multiply himself into different Chucky dolls and shave his head and get buff and go to Catholic school. Sure. But Cult of Chucky, that's like, this is the movie that leads into the TV series. Now, I liked the TV series for what it was. It kind of had its ups and downs. It definitely had more ups in the first season, in my opinion. Second season kind of dropped a little for me, but I think the third season kind of picked it back up. But of course, all good things never last. But there's just something about this movie. It was not very interesting. Like, there was some funny moments, but like, I don't know. Even them bringing back Alex Vincent, Andy, his role in this movie, I don't know. It just didn't feel as fulfilling, satisfying, if you will. And then, of course, they bring Jennifer Tilly back later in the movie, and they bring, what's her name? Nika, the girl in the wheelchair. Which I thought her story in the show was more interesting, which I'm not going to give any of that away in case you haven't seen the show. But in this movie, it's just like, I don't know. She just didn't feel as interesting as she did in Curse, which is when Chucky kind of made a comeback after being gone for like a while. Like the last movie we've gotten before Curse was Seed of Chucky, and that didn't really do too well. That was the last theatrical Chucky movie, if that says anything. But even that movie, as flawed as that one is, it's still entertaining. This one just, I don't know. It just didn't hit the spot. and it just didn't do much for me. So sorry, Chucky. Um, so let's move on to the last two movies. Three movies, sorry. One of them I don't physically own. I'm going to save that one for last. But next we have Wes Craven's New Nightmare. I know, I know. People love this movie. They say, "Oh, it's so smart. It's so neat how they blend the real world and Freddy." I guess, it's not terrible, but I thought all the other movies, even Dream Child and Freddy's Dead, a lot of people hate Freddy's Dead. I think it's fun. I don't know. I grew up with it. Now this is one that it has some okay ideas, but it seems like it's kind of copying a lot that the first movie did and trying to make it scary again, like they do the him kind of coming out the wall or the bed thing. Yeah, they do when he grabs the girl and is killing her on the ceiling, and it's like, okay. The newest thing they introduced in this movie is Demon Freddy, which just give him a trench coat and some pointy ears and scary. I know that's not fair to say, but I mean I do like the performances of the real people. Uh, Heather Langenkamp, I'm trying to say her name right. Wes Craven's performance, and then of course you have Robert Englund playing himself, and of course you got that awesome scene where Heather Langenkamp's on the talk show, and Freddy comes out. Oh, you're all my children. Yeah, it's fine, but like I don't know, the whole like kid going crazy, Dylan, that's his name, the little dinosaur. It's got the slash marks on it. Uh-oh. I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me, and I think it's the weakest one in my opinion. Like if you compare it to all the other Freddy movies, those movies are just like dream sequence, crazy shit, Freddy one-liners. It's awesome, and I get it. They were trying to do something different, and it's fine. But that was the last Freddy movie we got because nobody counts the remake. And yeah, I know a lot of people are like, "Wow, you should have chose that one." I like that one. Fuck you. Um, oh man, I am running out of voice spieling through all these. Hold on. We're on to the last two, and I saved the best two for last. You might be able to figure out who those two are. First off, we have my boy Jason Voorhees, who isn't even really in his own movie. Jason Goes to Hell. Um, he spends most of this movie in other people's bodies, and for the look they gave him in this movie, even though you briefly see it, I mean now recent years you get to see it in like the Friday the 13th game. There's pictures online. People make masks of this look all the time, where you can see what he looks like underneath the hockey mask. I'm just like, damn, this was a really cool look, and it was just wasted by being on screen for like what, 5, 8 minutes, maybe most, maybe 9. Um, and that's a damn shame because this was like the third movie that Kane Hodder was in. Yeah, 7, 8, 9. And this is when New Line bought the franchise. Now, it kind of seemed like New Line at this point was kind of dragging their feet. And they really wanted to set up Freddy versus Jason, which, of course, is why you have at the end where he pulls the mask down, Freddy's glove. But is that really the only reason they made this movie? I'm sure it's not. And there's like a whole documentary or book about the behind the scenes stuff, and making a movie is hard. Making a movie up based off of a insanely popular IP with 8 preceding films is probably insanely hard. But body swapping, come on. Like, granted, I'll give you this: the tent pole scene where he kills him and splits him in half. That's really cool. But this movie just does not do it for me. And even with the fun little Necronomicon and Evil Dead Easter eggs, Duke Creighton, he's a great character. I love him. just the rest of the movie just kind of fizzles out, and it's not that fun for me. So whether you're watching the unrated or the R-rated version, I don't think it matters because either way, he's hardly in it. And last but not least, we come to Halloween, the franchise that everyone goes nuts over. This was a really hard one. No, it wasn't. Most people would say, oh, Resurrection. That was a pretty bad one. What about 6? 6 was notoriously bad. What about Rob Zombie's Halloween 2? That one's... Some people would probably even say Halloween Kills, which I understand. No. It's ins. It's ins. I know. Such a brave take. But let's lay out the facts. You had this new trilogy coming out that I don't think really anyone knew it was going to be a trilogy. We just knew about the 2018 one. And, they could have ended it right there. I mean, it wasn't a very satisfying ending with their burning him in the basement. It's like, oh, we haven't seen him get burned before. But then they announced, we're going to do Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. And it's like, okay, weird titles, but, we did get Halloween movies named after Pink Panther movies. So Kills came out. It had its ups and downs, to say the least. But people were like, yeah, let's get to that Laurie and Michael fight. And of course, it got delayed. So, yeah, we had to wait. And, eventually the movie did come out. And I saw the first 2 in theaters, but something was telling me, hey, we could just watch it free. Why pay money? Let's watch it on Peacock for free at home. So that's what me and my friends did. And I remember thinking, oh, this movie's a lot different. It's got this new character, Corey, kills his kid on accident. Kind of funny. Okay. Laurie seems to be taking the death of her daughter very well. She's making pies and shit. Yeah, okay. We're back with this Corey kid. He's getting picked on by band geeks. Okay. Okay. Wasn't this a Halloween movie? Where's Michael at? Okay. So we get further. And then finally, we get to see Michael. And he's living in a goddamn sewer. Like a rat. And I'm like, oh no, are we doing Hobo Myers again? Please not. No, they said Hobo Myers... You're going to love him after you see this version. No, we have emancipated old man Myers that's living like a bum, which makes no sense because, they hyped up the 2018 movie by saying he's not supernatural. He's a human. Okay, but you shot his fingers off. You stabbed him multiple times. He got burned. Okay, maybe he's not just human. And then in Halloween Ends, or Halloween Kills, they beat the shit out of him at the end, and he kills everyone, like, in a slow-motion Matrix scene. And you're like, yeah, there's no way he's human. He's fucking crazy. He's strong, looking out his window. Then Ends comes out, and you're like, oh, Michael's back. He's gonna fuck Laurie up. But, oh, he's been hiding for 4 years. That doesn't sound like Michael. Okay, maybe he's just waiting. He's got a plan. He's going to fuck everybody in the town up. Nope. He's just in the sewer. He's old and can't even grab Corey and fuck with him. He puts his little hex on him or something. So that makes Corey turn bad boy. And Corey now wants to be the big dog, wants to do all the killing. And the fact that Michael and him team up is just so bizarre. I'm not saying, that's not an interesting idea, but they could have done it way different. Because, Michael used to drive around in that bitchin' car that he stole from Smith's Grove. And now he's been reduced to riding bitch on Corey's scooter. Because how else is he getting around with Corey? Um, but then, as if all this isn't bad enough, then Corey, he decides, you know what? I'm gonna like hanging out with this old man, and he goes into the sewer and practically beats the shit out of him and takes his mask. Like mom says it's my turn on the Xbox. Bam! Body slams Michael Myers, and just like at this point, I was really tempted to be like, we got to turn this off. We got to stop, please. But I just kept thinking, okay, maybe Corey as Michael fighting Laurie will be fun. Please, please. But we don't even get to that point because Corey fucks it up and Laurie gets the drop on him, and then Michael shows back up. Oh, they're racing outside. They're determining this is how they're gonna Laurie versus Michael this Sunday at the Speedway. Anyways, yeah, I hope you win. So yeah, Michael comes, takes his mask back, and he's strong again because he killed that cop in the sewer or something, and it made him come with rage or something. Um, and then they have this very pitiful showdown in a kitchen. In a kitchen, and Michael gets pinned down by a fucking Frigidaire. Fucking the meat and potatoes held him down so she could slit his wrists like he was fucking listening to Panic at the Disco, and then they haul Michael off. They crowd surf him into the garbage dump, and they throw him in the wood chipper. Why? Oh God, that was one of those times where I was literally in so much shock at the end, and I was just like, I couldn't speak. I was like, why? What? Who? Now, of course, we know that's not going to be the end of Michael. Michael makes too much money. They're just going to keep doing shit with him. Ugh. Like, they're going to have clones of Michael Myers. I don't know. But yeah, for all that buildup, starting us off with a very fun, interesting sequel to the original, to lead to that was just very disappointing. And like, I don't think any of the fans got what they wanted when it came to a showdown between Laurie and Michael. And like, you don't have to do like, stereotypical like, oh, she's gonna unmask him or behead him or something like that. But I don't know. It's just it's goofy. I'm done. So yeah, I'm done with all these movies. Sorry for the length of this, by the way. I just noticed this is a very long one compared to my usual ones. But you could tell I'm very passionate about these movies and why I dislike them. Now, not to say if you guys like any of these movies that I don't like you. There's the unsubscribe button. No, I'm just kidding. Please don't. But yeah. So there's my picks. Hopefully I don't offend any of you with those. But I mean, if I do, then I mean, it's just a movie. Calm down. Why, Michael? No, I'm kidding. I don't care. But hey, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.